Good morning, everybody. It's Kristina Dennis, the Transformational Self Empowerment Master. And that's a pretty gutsy thing to say, isn't it? But lots of people have encouraged me to continue to own that space based on what I've been lucky enough to do for the last 25 years and working with people. Lipsticks, lip gloss, all right. Does anybody else suffer from the one more thing disease? Because I have to say that one of my biggest character defects is that I think I can do one more thing before I have to get out the door. And it drives me crazy because I end up being 5 minutes late to every appointment or 10 minutes late, depending on California traffic. And it's some kind of habit that I picked up along the way, because I do remember there was a time where I was very punctual and very, very much even early for events at work, obviously, things like that. But, I'm going to love myself anyway. And I'm going to be honest about all of the things that go on, all my flaws, and understand that that is exactly where God wants me to be. And I think that's where a lot of us let that old negative self-talk show up, and we take the evidence that we see, because we're looking for that kind of evidence, whatever noise, whatever voice is going on in your head that tells you you're not enough, or you screwed up again, or you didn't make it happen, or aren't you always the person there? I think that's better. I don't know. Are you always the person who just doesn't make it happen? Aren't you silly? Whatever the things that go on in my head. And those are even better statements than they used to be. 25 years ago, or even as recently as 15 years ago, I really felt like my level of performance needed to be at a state of excellence all the time. And as I've stated many times, when autism entered into my life, there was no trappings or misgivings that I could hold up to that standard any longer. I just wasn't going to be able to keep going, and how compelling it is to have a child that forces you to slow down and take stock and do first things first. So today I wanted to come in and kind of talk a little bit about why we would even want to begin this journey, because it's work and it's really difficult. And especially if you don't want to go back and write those histories or look at things that hurt. And I want to encourage everybody, and I hope you used an affirmation or came up with an affirmation. I still am using, I, Kristina, am changing, and I feel strong, and I absolutely do. And that I've used multiple times this morning when I felt a little bit of hesitance about how I was going to get today's tasks done, and feeling a little tired, and whatever happens by the end of the week. I know it's just Thursday, but the first 4 days of my week are usually very, very busy in regards to caretaking for my special needs child and keeping a house. So I want to talk about the payoff, about why you would and do want to do this transformational work, why it's important to dive into things that you don't want to do, why it's important to continue to keep searching for new ways of figuring out what's going on in your head, retraining your brain. There are a lot of people that are doing some great work out there that you can get access to help you overcome things on a daily basis. I tend to go back and try to change very large themes and start looking for new history that represents how loved we are, how kind we are, how important we are to the people around us, and our purpose in life, having that harmonious lifestyle. And it's worth it. When I first got sober from alcohol, I heard often, of course you're going to feel better, because why would I want to quit drinking? I wanted to feel better. I didn't want any of the negative, painful moments. I didn't want to wake up being embarrassed by what I did, or ashamed, or demoralized. And they would say, yeah, you're going to feel better. You're going to feel sadness better, you're going to feel happiness better, you're going to feel joy, you're going to feel fear, because I was no longer anesthetizing myself. And to be that brave for anybody out there who's facing those kinds of things and letting go of things, habits or addictions or behaviors that have helped you cope and helped you avoid and you're ready to go ahead and give them up or attempt to, kudos, keep going, it's worth it. But the reason why we do this work is because to live an authentic life, to live a life that was made for you, to be in charge of how you react to circumstances, to know that you have the skill set and the ability to love people that are unlovable, to care about circumstances that maybe somebody else doesn't really care about. It is so much better than anything else you could do. I have to say that even though I have been through a boatload of troubles and a boatload of challenges and have and do continue to feel pain and fear, sometimes over my son's condition and his future, or even just my own, I wouldn't trade it for any amount of numbing that's out there. That doesn't mean that I go 24 hours, 100% pressure all the time, finding the truth, the truth, the truth. I give myself grace, and I give myself a Netflix binge every once in a while. But it's worth it, and keep pushing through. Do it with other people. Make sure that you have safe people around you to discuss it with. Hire a mentor if that needs to be part of your life. I think I've hired mentors, and it's amazing. Make sure that you understand that the goal is for you to have the best life you can have and feel the best you can. Not the things, not the accolades. It's that peace inside of myself that I have now, knowing that no matter what shows up, I've got some connection to a source that's bigger than me, and that I am okay and I am safe and I can make good choices and have decisions in front of me that I can move toward the way I want to live my life. I don't have to react to everything that's happening to me, and I don't have to respond in any kind of negative way. I get to have my feelings, they're completely valid, but I also have the ability and strength inside, the inner strength inside, as well, from who I choose to call God, to hold my head up high and walk through this messy life. So I just want to send out massive encouragement to everybody. I got to spend some time last night with some amazing women, watching them transform, watching them keep pushing. They don't come in, perfectly coiffed. They don't show up in the best of circumstances, but they are my heroes because they face it and they face life. And this morning I watched a video of a very close friend, deciding that she was going to change the course of her life. And I thought, wow, that is bravery, and that's courage, and that's living the life that she wants. And I can't think of a better pursuit. So happy Thursday to everyone. I'm going to learn to turn off my notifications because they keep beeping at me, and maybe you hear them. I also think I might brush that hair, but maybe not. Talk to you soon. There goes my phone. Bye.